Shalom. First and foremost, before I get started, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to where it's due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Achakwadash. Double honors as always to the apostles, bishops, elders of Great Millstone who were well and in charge of this truth. 414 on the back of this license plate. Call on Yahweh Shai. But today's lesson is going to be entitled somewhere along the lines of "Don't Let Up." Don't let up. Because I put that in the chat. GBT, I said meaning of "don't let up" spiritually, and I guess put it that last spiritually part with it. So it goes along with it as well. But it says "don't let up" spiritually means don't become spiritually lazy, complacent, or less committed. It encourages you to keep growing in your faith and remain consistent in your relationship with, as it says right here, God, with the Most High, with Yahweh Shai. So you don't want to become lazy. You don't want to become complacent. I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. You don't want to be less committed, especially in the times that we're living in. As we get closer and closer to the end, more and more demons like this are going to try to ramp up, going to try to bring you out of the faith and try to force you to go another way. I'll say not force, but try to draw you another way, another route that is contrary to this truth, contrary to Yahweh Shai, because as we know, where's that 1 Peter 5:7, roaring lion as a roaring lion. 1 Peter 5, that's a good one. Maybe roaring, let's just do it like this. I believe it was in 1 Peter 5 and 8. I didn't even read verse 8. 1 Peter 5 and I'll start at verse 6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, that he may exalt you in due time. So we want to be exalted. We don't want to exalt ourselves, but rather we want Yahweh to exalt us and bring us into that high estate, rather than trying to put ourselves in a high estate. Which, when you try to put yourself in a high estate, that's just carnal. Because as it reads, to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace, life everlasting. So you don't want to be carnal. And, when you're becoming lazy, when you're becoming complacent, when you're becoming less committed, that's carnality. That's demons trying to creep in. 1 Peter 5 and verse 7, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. So you got to understand, speaking to myself first and foremost, that Yahweh Shai cares for you. Was it as he cares for as children? Was it? Cares for you as he cares. Let's see. Let's see. KJV. So you got that. So it said Psalm 104 or 1 Peter 5 and 7. Let's see what Psalm 103 says in the NLT. Psalm 103 and verse 13 in the NLT. The Lord Yahweh is like a father to his children, tender and compassionate to those who fear him. So the Lord is compassionate to those who fear him, those who are doing his will. The Lord cares for us as long as you're doing his will, man. So now is not the time to be complacent, lazy. But, it's time to ramp up. 1 Peter 5 and verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant. Let's get in the NLT. Verse 8. Stay alert. Watch out for your great enemy, the devil. He prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. And And let's look up that word Satan. See what that says, man. Oh, it's like it. I'm thinking of okay, it says devil, which, you know, we can get that. Diablos. This is in the Greek.
Strong's G 1228. Diabolos. Diabolos.
Slagia. And like it says, slander, false accuser, slander. It says metaphor applied to a man who by opposing the cause of the Most High may be said to act the part of the devil or to side with him. What was that? That's Esau, man. See what a traducer says. A traducer, defamer. To speak badly of or tell lies about someone so as to damage their reputation. And that's what Esau has done to, you know, the Israelites. And then they'll put, you know, degenerate, wicked things in front of us of their own power, and then blame, and then go to the Most High and try to blame us that we're doing wrong when they're the ones, you know, putting it in front of our face. So yeah, slanderous, prone to slander. There's another one. Satan has a desire to sift you. So you got to be vigilant. You got to stay alert, because, you know, Esau, the devil, you know, these demons are trying to bring you out of the truth, man. Luke 22 and verse 31. And the Lord says, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. So he's trying to sift you. He's trying to separate you, man. Sift. The word sift in the Greek. It's like, that's sift.
Strong's G 4617. Siniadzo.
Siniadzo. It says figurative by inward agitation. So this is a spiritual battle. We'll get that, man. Ephesians 6. It says by inward agitation to try one's faith to the verge of overthrow. So Satan is trying to overthrow you. These demons is trying to overthrow you. Esau is trying to overthrow you, man. But you got to fight, because what is it going to say? That Yahweh Shai has prayed for us. Satan.
Strong's G 4567. Satanas.
Satanas, and that's in the Greek.
Thayer's lexicon. Satan.
And it says adversary, one who opposes another in purpose or act, the name given to. So yeah, and it says right here, look, a Satan-like man. And Esau is doing the spiritual bidding of Satan. Is doing the bidding of the spiritual demon, Satan. Accuser, the devil, i.e. the devil. Is Esau not coming in the same stead, man? Trying to sift us. Putting out all types of wickedness, all types of ungodliness, all types of wickedness and evil and darkness right in front of you, man. But putting out all sorts of vibrations, putting out all sorts of wicked devices to try to overthrow our faith, man. To bring us to the verge, of destruction, man. But we cannot allow that to happen. Do not let up. This is a fight, man. This is spiritual warfare. We'll get that right now. Ephesians, what did I say? 5 and 6. Ephesians 6 and verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. So you got to put on the whole armor, man. This is a spiritual fight. And if you do not put on the whole armor, and you try to put on 50% of the armor, you put on everything, but you didn't put on the helmet. You put on the whole shebang, but then you didn't take the shield of faith. You're done. You're done, man. If you do that, then you're gonna let up. You're gonna get soft. You're gonna get hit by those arrows. It says, so we gotta stand, man. We gotta fight. We gotta persevere. Verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. So you got to do everything in your power, man, to stand, to fight, and not to let up. So don't let up, man. And so, like I said, means don't become spiritually lazy, complacent, or less committed. It encourages you to keep growing in your faith and remain consistent in your relationship with the Most High. What comes to mind as well is Romans 12 and verse 11. In the NLT, never be lazy, but work hard and serve the Lord enthusiastically. Again, speaking to myself first and foremost, man. Don't be lazy. So it says it can include things like continuing to pray regularly. Don't slack. Studying the scriptures consistently. Applying what you learn instead of only hearing it. Be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. I believe that's in James. See if we can get that. Doers word. James 1 and verse 22. But be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. So you can't just listen to the word of God. You got to do what it says, as it says in the NLT. There's a specific standard that the Lord expects from us and demands from us and requires from us while we are in this flesh, while we are in our captivity, and coming back to the Heavenly Father. There's a way that you got to conduct yourself, man, and it's not like a nigga moment. It says, applying what you learn instead of only hearing it, resisting temptation and staying vigilant. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. It's been a while since I got that one. Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 2 and 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. So you're going to be tempted, but you got to fight. Verse 2, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. So you got to constantly endure. You got to endure. As it says, enduring through trials without giving up is a spiritual warfare, man. You're going to go through trials. You're going to go through tribulations. But we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of the Most High. Staying humble and continuing to seek wisdom. We just got in that 1 Peter 5 and 6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, and he will exalt you in due time. The phrase carries the idea of not easing off your spiritual effort, even when things are going well or when you become tired. As it says in 1 Timothy 3, I believe. Preach the word. 2 Timothy 4 and 2. 2 Timothy 4 and verse 2. Preach the word. Be instant in season, out of season. Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. As it says in the NLT, preach the word of the Most High. Be prepared whether the time is favorable or not. So whether it's in your favor or not in your favor, you got to be ready. You got to preach the word. Patiently correct, rebuke, and encourage your people with good teaching. It says several Bible passages reflect this principle. Galatians 6:9, and let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. So we can't faint. You got to fight. You got to endure. You got to keep going, man. You can't be weary. This is something beautiful that we're doing right now, and we cannot allow Satan, demons, Esau, wickedness, darkness to steer us away from that path, man. Romans, I'm not going to get it. I'm about to end it off here. But Romans 9 and verse 35. Romans 8 verse 35 on down, going to who shall separate us from the love of the Most High? Nothing. 1 Corinthians 15 and 58, therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. So you got to understand, and I finished it off because it only quotes, so many, if it's so long, but you got to be unmovable. You got to always abound in the work of the Lord and understand and know that the Lord is with you, man. And understanding that your work is not in vain. We got that Romans 12, Romans 24, or Matthew 24 and verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So endure. In short, don't let up spiritually means to keep pressing forward in your faith and obedience without becoming complacent or quitting. Don't quit. Luke 9 and 62. We'll end it off right there. Luke 9 and verse 62, I believe it's the last verse. Yep, and Yahweh said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of the Most High. So don't quit, don't let up, man, and continue to push forward, because as the demons ramp up, speaking of myself first and foremost, we have to ramp up as well. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the spirit, to the body, and to the fold. And before I end it off, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to where it's due to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Chakudash. Double honors as always to the apostles, bishops, elders of Great Millstone. Until next time, Shalom.